Hi, my name is Dr. Terry Jones, and this is the Braveheart Show. Today we're going to talk about a subject that is very familiar to everyone. We're going to talk today about prayer. Prayer is something that basically everyone believes in, and probably most everyone has prayed at some time in their life. Prayer has even been proven to be effective. It has been proven scientifically that people who believe in God, people that pray, people that have a positive attitude are more likely to recover from sickness. They're more likely to recover and recover faster. Today we're going to talk about, though, prayer, because not every prayer is effective. Not every prayer actually really seems to work and bring forth fruit. We're going to talk today about an ingredient that is very necessary in prayer. There's a part of prayer there's a part of an action that we must do in prayer in order to make it effective. In our society, if something happens, and especially in our Christian society, if something happens, a lot of times the first thing that a Christian does, they start contacting other Christians. They send out newsletters, they send out emails, and they say, oh, this and this has happened. This and this is about to be passed. We need to pray. We need to do something. And indeed that's true. And indeed that prayer is a very, very positive force. But what I begin to see is that prayer in Christianity is being used as an excuse. It's being used as an excuse to not do anything. Used as an excuse to be lazy. To just say, well, this is happening, we must pray. Yeah, we must pray, but we also must really do something. We have right now in our nation, we have many challenges that are before us. We have a very great threat of Islam, a very bad, evil, demonic religion. We have the great movement in America and laws that have been passed for a long time, legalizing abortion, legalizing the killing and murdering of boys and girls. We have the talk that we've also talked about on this show. We've talked about same-sex marriage. I mean, doesn't that term alone tell you that it's wrong? Christians indeed need to pray, but we have to do more than pray. We must do something. We must hit the streets. We must demonstrate. We must mobilize people. When we look in the past, how did we win freedom? Oh, I'm sure as we won our independence that there were many people and many of the founding fathers who were praying. But it was not prayer alone. It wasn't prayer alone. What it was is that we had to demonstrate. We had to go to war. We had to fight for that freedom. At that particular time, and actually that time has not changed, war, what was the answer? It may not be a good answer, but it was at that time the answer. And most of the time today it's the answer. Because the people who are trying to steal our freedom, the terrorists and other people, they do not understand reason. They do not understand prayer. What they understand is violence. So indeed, us as Christians, we must pray, but we must do something. We must demonstrate. We must demonstrate. We must get on the streets. We must get in the newspaper, get on television, against abortion, against Islam, against same-sex marriage. Isn't that what happened in the past? Well, why should the church be any different? Why was the civil rights movement successful? It was not successful because it was correct, because it was right. Well, a lot of things are correct. Well, a lot of things are right, but they do not happen. The civil rights movement was successful because people did something. Because they got on the telephone, because they wrote letters, because they had different stations in different cities, because they mobilized the people to get on the streets to do something. We as Christians, we are called to make an impact on the society that the church has gotten away from. We are called to make an impact on the society. We are here to change the society. We are here to stand up for what is right. It is not only the church's job to teach us how to obtain wealth, happiness, health, but it is the church's job to make an impact on the society. We as Christian leaders, and especially leaders that have influence, leaders that lead large churches, we must do as the civil rights movement did. We must mobilize the church. We must come together on Sunday and pray, and we must come together on Monday, come together on Saturday, mobilize the people to march, mobilize the people to do something. The church is the only one that can do that. Well, we have a nation full. And I believe what we have elected will turn out to be a disaster for our nation. We have elected a weak government. We cannot expect the government to do that. The government will not stand up. The government will go with the flow. So we as Christians, and we cannot be weak Christian leaders, we must stand up and mobilize the people. We must stand up and mobilize. We cannot hide behind prayer. We cannot hide behind sending out prayer requests and emails. We must do something. We must mobilize our friends to march, to stand up for what is right. So I want to encourage you, on this Sunday, let's talk about these issues. Let's talk about prayer, but let's talk about what makes prayer work. What makes prayer work is when we mobilize the people, when we put actions behind our prayers. Otherwise, the church will continue to exist as it has existed through the generation. We do nothing, nothing happens. Once in a while, God pours out His Spirit. A bunch of people get saved. A bunch of people get healed. Great and fantastic. But in the end, as we see, it has had no impact on our society. The only way to impact our society is to demonstrate, is to mobilize the people. Thank you, and God bless.